kill Americans.
They were against Americans, but at the same time they did not align themselves with the TTA.
They did not, but they had common ground somewhere.
Yeah, they had common ground, but when it comes to Nangarhar, even back in 2018 January, Afghan Taliban, they actually conducted activities against ISIS Khorasan there. There was one of the incident in which they actually, cut their throats and hung their out there as well to deter them.
Do you know that happened in fights between Taliban's own factions also?
Exactly.
So
that's what I was about to say. That it actually happened within Taliban, Afghan Taliban as well. So they have the history of doing so. Sana's question is Sana. That's a very important question. That why still, I mean, there are not any steps taken by TTA against TTP. Whenever Pakistan requires Afghanistan to do something against TTP, it is not done.
Not just why, Faisal. I want to understand what exactly do they want. Like what is the preferred mode that the Afghan Taliban is looking for? Not just refusing to do one thing that Pakistan is expecting, but what do they want to do? Support them?
By the looks of it, they only want, of course, Pakistan to have no activities against TTP, which is, of course, not going to happen, because Pakistan is going to ensure that all of the Pakistan lands, they are safeguarded against all of these terrorists. To them, TTP is that sort of terrorist, because they believe that they have been, of course, joining hands with them against the Americans, and their ideology is quite similar to TTA. So they believe that they are a sort of faction of them who've been helping them out during the war against America. So they don't want any activities against them. But of course, when it comes to Pakistan, believes that all of these TTP, I mean, few of the factions, they might be different, who might align themselves with TTA, and they are not doing any activities against Pakistan. But majority of the TTP, TTP outfits, they are all against Pakistan, and this is the fact which, of course, Afghanistan's TTA regime, they must understand, and they do something about it. And especially, I think there is another fact which needs to be reiterated to Afghan Taliban, and that is related to how I was earlier, mentioning with the Nafis Saab as well. And my question to him was all about this, that as we know that ISIS Khorasan is catering few of the TTP outfits within 3 provinces, which we keep on highlighting about, and same goes out for for BLA and BLF as well, in ETIM, then IMU, all of these, they get catered by ISIS Khorasan, and they have good relations. So few of the TTP outfits, they might be having good relations with the TTA, but at the same time they are aligned with the ISIS Khorasan. Okay. So these are the facts which needs to be reiterated to TTA, and need to be told to them that this is the menace which is, of course, brewing up in your provinces and affecting Pakistan, and Pakistan will be, of course, safeguarding itself against the terrorism which is originating from within Afghanistan.
Right, and I want to understand, Farooq, that this is something that we've been talking about for quite some time now. Of course, Pakistan has been reiterating this many times as well, and it still does in terms of what the Afghan Taliban should be doing or needs to do. But do we still have any window where we have this expectation from the Afghan Taliban and it's going to be fulfilled, or is that something that's long gone and we need to think differently now?
Right. Through carrot and stick, you can always find some kind of solution.
Yeah.
And you keep on doing that. But the problem is that, again, when I said to Faisal that you are doing it again, this nuance, I'm not the one who actually tries to sweep every nuance under the carpet. But the fact is that all these groups that are there in Afghanistan and which are actually thriving in the name of religion, they have one common enemy, and that enemy is Pakistan. And why is it? Because they think that Pakistan cooperated with America, and by extension, Pakistan is also extension of an order that is, fighting them. So, if you want to understand the whole problem fully, you have to appreciate how in olden days, people who were in the brig of ships were treated. Whenever some pirate would attack a ship, they would free the inmates or the people who were actually arrested, and they would actually fight side by side. And once the enemy was gone, defeated, vanquished, after that they would reapprehend the people who were fighting, who were actually earlier in the brig. So this is the state of affairs right now. Afghan Taliban also don't think much of you. They do have differences within their organization, but people that we kept on thinking are favorable to Pakistan, they are going out of the way to recruit people that were thought to be in favor of Pakistan against Pakistan, right? For example, Haqqani network actually played a pivotal role. Again, I'm borrowing language of Faisal, to actually induct Hafiz Gul Bahadur, a group against Pakistan, and they have also started attacking. So whether you like it or not, the Afghan Taliban and everyone, including ISKP, Islamic State, Khorasan province, they all actually, they might fight among themselves, but they believe that apart from the enemy in exile, that is the US, they have to fight enemy in the residence, that is Pakistan. And they harbor, territorial ambitions against Pakistan's territory. And that actually goes to the TTA also. Why do you think they never want to accept Durand Line? Because they claim that half of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa up to Jhelum is theirs. With that kind of attitude, if we keep on cutting them slack, then we can keep on building this case that ISKP is the actual organization that is meant to attack the whole world, and they are attacking Pakistan, and TTA are our poor helpless brothers who don't know what to do, and they don't have good options. But essentially they are the same people. Do you know how ISKP was built? ISKP essentially was an offshoot of TTP. The people who actually started disagreeing with TTA's own edicts, they actually revolted and formed ISKP. And those people actually essentially, what is TTP? TTP is essentially an extension of TTA. People who were arrested in the accusation that they were facilitating TTA immediately after 9/11, and they were actually taken to Gitmo. Those, when they got free, they formed TTP. So they are more or less the same thing. We can keep on reinventing the wheel, but the fact is that Al-Qaeda, ISKP, TTA, TTP want the same thing, and that is our death. That is ambition over our territory, some kind of caliphate over this land also. So if we want to actually cut them slack, please do, but not at my cost.
Absolutely, and of course this is something that also falls under the zero tolerance policy that we have of course followed and claim to follow with reference to terrorism, and this is something that has to be taken in this regard as well. We're now going to take a look at the with regards to the Iran gas line project, the way that the dynamics have evolved, and how exactly will Pakistan and the US relationship also get affected, and what sort of options are available for Pakistan to pursue this, given of course its economic needs and also its very important relationship with the US. And Faisal, I'll start with you with what the US has said. It's not the first time that we've been hearing these comments coming from the US, and they've said it very clearly that they don't support the project and that Pakistan will be exposing themselves to US sanctions. And of course this is not something that Pakistan wants. But in terms of what options we have, and in terms of our economic conditions, and in terms of the project in itself, what exactly do you think should be the way forward for Pakistan? The defense minister stated that the US should provide an alternative, but of course he's making a statement in terms of emphasizing Pakistan's needs. What is the way forward?
Yeah, obviously, Sana, if we talk about our defense minister's statement, I think it was a very good statement, and this is how it should be. Other day, remember when we were talking on the same topic with the Michael Kugelman as well, and I did highlight that point related to, of course, Pak-Iran gas pipeline to him as well, and he said this is, of course, very important, and there will be a stance taken by US on this against Pakistan. But of course, way how defense minister has already highlighted, if they can give us another alternate to it, because knowing the facts on ground, Pakistan is a country that is struggling in terms of its energy needs, and Iran being the immediate country that is, of course, ready to transfer gas to Pakistan, and gas pipeline. This gas pipeline is pending since a long time, and if we have that opportunity there, barring an ally country, a country that has been ally throughout throughout the wars of US in the region. I mean, it is so unfortunate that it would be coming from US if it does so. Right now, of course, we know that Pakistan is going ahead with it, because the penalty of not doing so is so enormous that if America is ready to pay for that penalty, then fair enough, and give us another alternate.
Is the penalty more costly than US sanctions?
Of course, both of them are dear to us. I mean, $1 million per day, $1 million per day, a country like Pakistan that is already struggling in terms of its economy. Of course, America should be considerate enough and should understand this. And at the same time, Sana, if we talk about other allies in the region of America, the way America treats them, it's fascinating. When it comes to buying oil from Iran, India is still buying 425,000 barrels a day crude oil. Still, India is buying from Iran, and nothing is said by America on that. When it comes to S-400, of course, we know that India and Turkey both were the countries that actually bought S-400 from Russia, and Turkey did get sanctioned, but when it comes to India, India did not get any sanctions from the American side. So this is quite fascinating when it comes to cherry picking your allies and who to pressurize and who not to pressurize. So this must be understood by America itself, that on ground, of course, Pakistan has its own needs related to energy, and Pakistan, of course, believes that the immediate country, brotherly Iran, of course, they have the gas and they are willing to transfer it to Pakistan, and why not Pakistan should be going for it. But I think here I would say that Pakistan would be going ahead with it, and when it comes to the time of sanctions, of course, at that time Pakistan will be having another sort of plan to how to counter them sanctions. I believe Pakistan will overcome eventually.
All right, and Farooq, Faisal has pointed